What's up, fam? It's your girl Janetha, and I'm back with another one. Today we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to touch on the hottest topic on the planet right now, and that is the temporary shutdown of TikTok. The parent company is ByteDance. So how the U.S. government temporarily, for not even 24 hours, shut down the company TikTok. We're going to get into why I believe this shutdown happened, and also why I believe the shutdown only lasted or less than 24 hours. So let's get straight into it, y'all. All right, so ByteDance, TikTok. I am a creator on TikTok. I do a lot of my fashion content where it's basically my outfit of the day and style fashion videos. I also have a TikTok shop where I design my own clothes. I have my own clothing line called Deep Cult. So all of that is also in my TikTok store, my TikTok shop. So I am very familiar with the platform, just like I'm familiar with a lot of the other social media platforms as far as IG, Facebook goes, you know, the big three. Now, TikTok has basically been at war with the U.S. government for some time now. The U.S. government feels like they don't want all of our data being shared with the Chinese government. All right, that's fair. But the way I see it is, like I said earlier in a post, anytime you want to understand anything that's going on, especially when you're talking big business, you got to follow that money. The money tells you everything. So I went to look it up and see, well, where do each of these social media companies stand? And TikTok is not the number one company. Facebook is actually the number one social media company. It's far, far, far in the lead. It's the biggest social media company on the planet. So it's not that, as far as market share goes, there are more users that use Facebook. And also, Facebook just makes more money than TikTok makes, as far as if we're just calculating all of these social media platforms and putting them in a row. Facebook is at the tip top. But anyone who's at the tip top of anything is kind of, you know what I mean, checking their surroundings, looking back and seeing who's about to creep up on them. So we got to also take into account that TikTok is not an American app. Mark Zuckerberg, he has been in situations like this before. There was another app that was creeping up on Facebook, and I think even overtook Facebook at a time. And he did a power play to make sure he could eliminate that competition. That one company was Instagram. Instagram was not always owned by Mark Zuckerberg. It was a separate company. Like I said, Instagram started picking up a lot of steam and was really pushing into the market share that Facebook held inside of the social media space. So what did Zucks decide to do? Called up Instagram, let's cut a deal, and he bought Instagram. So basically, a way for him to eliminate his competition was, I'm just going to buy it. So now I own the competition. And that also is what helped Mark and just Facebook, Meta, the company itself, which owns Instagram, become the leading social media platform in the world. So, like I said, we know by Facebook's past actions that they're always checking, seeing who's creeping up on them. Now, TikTok, even though I think they rank maybe number 4 or 5 as far as the money goes with social media, so they're nowhere nearly as rich as a Facebook or an IG. But what they do have on both of these platforms is the users that log into TikTok actually stay on the platform a lot longer than when users log into Facebook. Users will log into Facebook and they're out of there. Users log into TikTok, and what they have called it is doom. I think it's called doom scrolling, where you're just kind of scrolling. So if you're a social media CEO, you have your company, and you see this other little guy coming on the block, and yeah, he's not really as rich as you, so you ain't really worried about that. I got more bread than you, but the people seem to like you more. Wait a minute. Why do the people seem to like you more than they like me? So now you're going to start to see some actions. And then just the fact that this is not an American company. So the fact that TikTok is not an American company it also doesn't really give the American government any type of incentive to protect TikTok. Now, if this was a government company, because at the end of the day, you're not allowed to form monopolies. So really, I don't think Zucks could buy TikTok if he wanted to, because he already bought WhatsApp and he already bought Instagram. So they were already getting on Zuckerberg for forming a social media monopoly. So he's out of the running. He can't even buy TikTok if he wanted to. But there would be some type of stepping from the SEC. They wouldn't be able to shut TikTok down if it was an American app, because we have to have competition in the market. Like, I mean, literally competition is welcome inside of the open American market. So we're not going to be shutting down competition. That's just how the market rolls. So basically how I look at it is, quick analogy, Facebook. Sorry, my brother, I love you. Facebook is Joseph Jackson. Before Michael Jackson signed up to perform in his high school talent show, Jermaine Jackson was the lead singer of the Jackson Band. Michael Jackson goes, performs, his whole family sees it. He gets a standing ovation from his high school, and he was young. You know, this is a high school. Michael Jackson was young singing. I don't even know if he was in high school yet. But anyway, standout performance. He now gets pushed to be the leader, and Jermaine Jackson is taking a back seat to his little brother, the new guy on the block. Now, Jermaine Jackson could have made up all this stuff, started planting stuff on Mike around the house, making sure Michael wasn't doing his chores, messing him up, so that way he could put up a fight to his parents, the government, to say, hey, little Mike, he's not even on point. He's not even doing great in school. Look, he didn't do his chores. He's shirking his responsibilities. I should be the leader of the band. But he did. He went on. I don't think he necessarily liked it ever, because he's older than his brother, but he sucked it up. He knew it was what was best for the band, and he kept it moving. TikTok is the Michael Jackson in this situation, except for FB as Jermaine Jackson is snitching to the parents. Like, Mom, they're taking the data. They're taking the data. Well, meanwhile, we know all of these companies, American companies, are also selling our data. Literally, I could be on the phone talking to someone, my mom, my twin, and I'll mention Kleenex. When I hang up the phone, there's an ad for Kleenex magically on my phone. That's not magic. That's literally the microphones, the data that they're selling, the data that they are open to know, like, oh no, they just said keyword Kleenex, let me send this ad. So all of our data is being sold. Even though I'm not saying that I'm for our data being sold to the Chinese government, but I just want to be clear that we are all aware that our data is being sold regardless. So yeah, you got Jermaine Jackson, aka Facebook, snitching to mom and dad, aka the government, about TikTok, aka Michael Jackson, to try to stop his ascension from becoming the Michael Jackson that we ended up knowing who he was. He was just that guy. So that's kind of what FB is trying to do. It's literally a money play. Like, they see that, yeah, we're in the lead, we got more money, but TikTok does have the power to overthrow us, just because the users like being on the platform a lot more. So now the next question is, well, why? Why do the users like to be on the platform a lot more? And why do, how did they become such a threat? There's multiple reasons for this, y'all. The first reason I would say is a lot of users say that when they go to TikTok, the reach is just a lot better. You're able to get more eyes on your content, and I'm talking about day one. You could be a nobody, just scroll up, walk over to TikTok, like, I'm gonna post a video, and you're gonna get 500 views, maybe 20 likes your first day, which will incentivize you to post even more. Now, we go back to the American companies. When this thing first started, y'all, on all of them, all the platforms start the same way. So I was a little skeptical of TikTok, because they all start like this. A new company comes on, Facebook, IG, Snapchat, whoever it is, and the reach is wide open. Why? Because they need the common man and woman to use their product, so that way they can keep getting investors to invest hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into this product. bang, now once they use the little people, just the regular working man and woman and kids, to post every day to build it up so they give us all the reach in the world, then once they get their company to the dollar amount that they needed, they either sell the company, or now they know they can start reaching out to bigger celebrities and pull them in. So like, okay, we got all the users we need as far as the regular people, and we were able to make 500 million while we built it up. So now let's reach out to the celebrities. But wait, the celebrities don't want to be seen in the same light as the little guy. So now we have to decrease the reach that the average person who started us off, who got us to this point, we have to decrease the reach of all of them so the celebrities can come into this space and feel like celebrities. So bang, they decrease the reach of all the normal people, give more reach to the celebrities. And then we kind of stay at this shadow band, new low level of reach. And that is how it goes. Then they pull in the advertising dollars, they get Kleenex, they get Hyundai, they get Walmart, and everyone to say, yeah, we want to set up a contract with you, FB. We're willing to pay you $1 million to advertise for the year, or 10 million or 20 million to advertise on your platform for the year. And then, like I said, once that cycle's complete, the little man is forever stuck to a small reach. And that's how it works with American social media. It just is what it is. That's literally the game plan for all of them. If you go back, do your research, you'll see that's how it works. So TikTok has been out since almost, I don't know, I joined TikTok late. I'm late to the game. I joined TikTok maybe 2018, 2019, something like that. So I was already late to the game, and I stepped in and was able to get views. So now we're 2025. We're damn near 6 years later, and TikTok has not squashed the reach of the average person. And guess what? TikTok also hasn't traded on the average person to go get more celebrity influencers. In fact, TikTok has done the best job out of all the social media platforms other than YouTube. YouTube gets a pass from everything because YouTube's been on point the whole time. So other than YouTube, TikTok has been the one to really push and advance independent artists and just your regular content creators. These is facts. All right. So the next thing that really drove people to be on TikTok's platform a lot more than they're on the other social media platforms is the fact that TikTok saw that there was a need for seamless shopping. So I can come out with a product. Like I said, I do my clothing line. So I design clothes and I sell them. If I wanted to use any other social media site, I would have to post my link to my shop in the bio. Then I would have to make a video, whatever, a commercial, and say, yeah, so to shop with us, go hit my link in the bio. When you go to hit the link in the bio, it's taking you off of, let's say I'm on Facebook. It's taking you from Facebook and putting you onto whatever website has my clothes. That whole interaction is counterproductive because we have to remember the social media platform's total job, their sole job, is to keep you on the platform. Remember, I told you TikTok has the edge because they can keep people on the platform longer than these other platforms. So anytime you make a post and say, go click the link, or direct anyone to do anything that's directing them off the platform, you're automatically being shadow banned for that particular post because they do not want people to leave the platform. So with TikTok creating the TikTok shop, it allows people to create a post wearing my clothes or advertising my clothes and say, yeah, just go to my TikTok shop. And it's right there within the app. So they're not shadow banning that post because I'm not making people leave TikTok. So they're actually pushing the post because I'm using a feature of TikTok's, which is the TikTok shop. So they want more people to be involved with the TikTok shop, which makes them push that post even more than they would push a post where I'm not advertising anything from the TikTok shop. So that's another main reason why people said, yo, we banging with TikTok. Okay, something else that people have been talking about is they feel like you can build a better community on TikTok. So people feel like there is a better sense of community on TikTok. And really, from what I've seen on TikTok, even when I first got on, I used to do more lives. This is before I got into the fashion niche. I was just, I would do the trending dances. I would come on live. I would show, because I rap, so I would show my music and I would go live, and people were always super kind. It's almost like a culture shock when you've been on these other sites where everything is based off of clout and how cool do you look or how polished is your image. Like on TikTok, you could see the everyday man or woman. You could see people that would usually be shadow banned for maybe deformities that these other sites don't want to push to the For You page. But TikTok, literally, you can see someone who's missing limbs on the For You page and they got 1 million likes on their content, just doing some regular stuff. They might be cooking and telling their story, but TikTok isn't discriminating against you because you lost a limb in an accident or because you have something that doesn't put you in the top percentile of beauty standards. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why people like TikTok. They feel like it's more so about who you are as a person on the inside than who you are as an image that you've kind of created. You can be yourself. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the effect that TikTok has had on musicians, which is kind of crazy because a lot of musicians didn't stand up, and TikTok wasn't banned for long, but within that time period of all the people that were upset about it, I didn't see too many musicians, and they all use it, from DaBaby, Little Baby, any rapper you could think of is depending on TikTok right now. So that's another thing that creators loved, is that it was a place for you to house your music. And then TikTok got so big to the point it has its own charts. TikTok, your song can blow up from TikTok, hit the TikTok charts, and then move over into the Billboard charts. So it really gave people, like I said, everyday people, where I can make a song about a breakup with my girlfriend, then make a quick video where I'm just like me in bed thinking about breaking up with my girl, with my song playing, and people just resonate with the content because they've been there before. So now they're sharing it, they're liking it, that sound goes viral, and it just allows musicians to get the shine that they wouldn't have never got without the platform. And I mean, the other great thing when it comes to music and TikTok is TikTok, like there's this song by Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell is known for being Gina on The Martin Show. I've been known that Gina could sing. She's in Little Shop of Horror, the movie. She got a beautiful voice. But her singing career, because she was first of all, in the 90s, people did it all. They sang, they act, they danced. And then the one thing would probably be their lead thing that they did. So her lead thing was an actress. But she always put out albums, and those who knew, and those who supported Tisha Campbell's singing career, they supported it. But she never became like big as far as a pop star where you'd be like, yeah, girl, you get that new Tisha Campbell? No. But years later, and it's funny because it's based off of the TikTok ban, now that TikTok is back, there's a Tisha Campbell song that was put out in the 90s that's now going viral. So now that song's going to hit the charts probably for the first time ever since it's been created. You know what I mean? So TikTok has a way of doing things like that. There was a Smokey Robinson song. He probably made the song in the 90s. It's called Gang Bangin'. It's the corniest song ever. Never had a chance when he made the song. But because TikTok, a lot of people like to do jokes and all that, they came across this song, Gang Bangin', Gang Bangin'. And people started making jokes about it. Now they loading up guns, putting their bandanas on, smoking their weed, gang banging. And that song is getting some, he's making money off the stream. So songs that would have never went anywhere. The last person I'm going to talk about is Money Long and Hours and Hours. Her first name is Priscilla. Her full name was her original artist name. But anyway, she changed her name to Money Long, started re-releasing under this new name. And Priscilla's been a writer in the industry for many, many years. She's literally penned top hit songs for Ariana Grande. I want to say she's wrote the song Timber. She's done a lot of work, but her career has never taken off. And it wasn't until her song Hours and Hours, and actually the LGBTQ community latched on to that song. And they blew it up. Then from them latching on to it, just the rest of the TikTok world kind of got wind of it, and then they started using it for different things. So from that one thing happening to Money Long careers, that put her on the map. So she got Hours for Hours. Then she came out next with Made for Me. That song went viral, and literally the first 2 days of its virality, the Universal Music Group, that's who she signed to, literally removed all of their artists' music from TikTok because they were in disputes on how much they wanted to be paid to house the music on TikTok. So her song was only going viral, Made for Me. This is the second one that TikTok took to. Now it's going viral for maybe 1 or 2 days, and they take her stuff off. She had to literally go on the platform and say, listen, UMG's playing with me. They know this app is what made me blow up. So they playing with artists by taking our music off of this app. So yeah, don't get it twisted. TikTok has just changed the game. It's changed the world in many ways. As far as the less than 24-hour ban that we saw on TikTok and why I believe it happened like that and why it was so short-lived, I believe it was so short-lived because they did not expect the American people to be serious and basically boycott the American apps and go to Red Note. That's a whole nother video that I'm going to create. But once we stepped over into Red Note and were able, forget being on a Chinese app, TikTok, now we're basically in China. Going on Red Note was damn near, because we always stay within our apps, in country apps. We've never gone to an Australian app where there's nothing but Australian people. That was like literally taking a flight to China for less than a half hour, visiting some people and seeing, whoa, this is what's going on? So a lot of things were being exposed, how beautiful their country is, how great their technology is in comparison to our technology, their cost of living, how much more reasonable it is in comparison to ours. So once we got over to Red Note and we really started having conversations with the native people, and we started comparing our lives to theirs and them comparing their lives to us, and we're really able to talk to each other and see how it is, that's when the government said, pull the plug on this experiment. We gotta go back. You know what I mean? It was too much. So that's why we're back. We're allowed to have our app again. But at the end of the day, this was a very interesting situation. I think it proved how important social media is to the current world that we live in. I think it also proved how important the people are in the current world that we live in. We don't give ourselves enough credit, but when we want to, we can affect change. So let's always keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Let's not just leave it to this. When we see other shit that we know ain't right, let's collectively come together and do something about it, y'all. I your girl Jen Ether. This was my take on the TikTok ban, why it happened, and why it unhappened. I'm out.